Have you ever watched a woman walk into a room and immediately command respect before she says a single word? She isn't the loudest person there. She isn't wearing the most expensive outfit. She isn't working the room trying to impress everyone around her. Yet somehow every eye follows her. Every person listens when she speaks. What she carries isn't a title or a designer bag. It's something far more powerful. A quiet confidence that doesn't chase attention yet naturally receives it. In a world that rewards noise, true elegance is surprisingly silent. Today, here are 8 habits that make a woman instantly respected wherever she goes. Habit 1. She chooses peace over drama. One of the greatest signs of emotional maturity is knowing which conversations deserve your energy. Picture a room where everyone is criticizing someone who isn't present. Voices get loud, opinions get harsher, emotions take over. Then there's one woman who simply listens without contributing. She gently redirects the conversation or quietly excuses herself. She doesn't judge anyone. She simply protects her own peace. Over time, people trust her completely because they know she isn't someone who spreads negativity. Respect grows when your presence brings calm instead of chaos. Habit 2. She gives others her full attention. Modern conversations have become distractions disguised as communication. People check notifications while listening. They interrupt before someone finishes speaking. They prepare their response instead of understanding what's actually being said. A truly elegant woman does something different. She listens, not to reply but to understand. She remembers names. She recalls small details someone shared months ago. When she asks, "How did your interview go?" or "How is your mother doing?" people realize she genuinely cared enough to remember. That kind of attention is incredibly rare. And rarity creates value. When people feel truly seen, they naturally respect the person who made them feel that way. Habit 3. She moves with intention. Anxious people rush through everything. Their words, their meals, their decisions. But women who command respect move differently. Not slowly, intentionally. They pause before answering important questions. They think before reacting emotionally. They walk with confidence rather than urgency. This isn't about pretending to be graceful. It's about refusing to let pressure control your behavior. When your movements become intentional, your mind follows. Others begin associating you with stability rather than stress, and calmness communicates competence more powerfully than speed ever could. Habit 4. She keeps promises to herself. Most people work hard to avoid disappointing others while constantly disappointing themselves. They postpone goals, break personal commitments, ignore healthy habits, and slowly lose trust in themselves without realizing it. Confident women build self-respect differently. Every promise made to themselves matters. If they decide to wake up earlier, they do it. If they commit to learning something new, they stay consistent. Not because perfection is required, but because consistency builds identity. Every small promise kept becomes evidence saying, "I can depend on myself." That invisible confidence eventually becomes visible to everyone around them. Habit 5. She celebrates without comparing. Comparison quietly steals joy, and social media makes it easier than ever. Someone gets promoted. Someone buys a beautiful home. Someone announces exciting news. Instead of celebrating, many people immediately begin questioning their own progress. Elegant women refuse to live this way. They understand another person's success isn't proof of their failure. There's enough opportunity for everyone. When a friend succeeds, they genuinely celebrate. When someone shines, they applaud. Not because they have everything figured out, but because insecurity no longer controls their reactions. Generous peoples earn enormous respect because they make others feel supported rather than threatened. Habit 6. She controls her emotions instead of letting them control her. Life will always present unexpected challenges. Someone misunderstands your intentions. A coworker speaks unfairly. Plans suddenly collapse. Anyone can remain calm when everything goes well. Real character appears during uncomfortable moments. Respected women don't react immediately. They pause, they breathe, they ask themselves, "Will this matter next week?" Often the answer is no. That brief pause prevents countless unnecessary conflicts. People admire emotional stability because it creates psychological safety. You never wonder which version of that person you'll encounter today. They're consistently composed. And consistency builds trust faster than charisma ever could. Habit 7. She speaks less but says more. Some people believe influence comes from speaking constantly, yet history tells a different story. The women who command respect don't dominate conversations. They contribute thoughtfully. They aren't uncomfortable with silence. In fact, silence becomes one of their greatest strengths. When they finally speak, others naturally pay attention, because everyone knows those words were chosen carefully. Quality always outweighs quantity. Speaking with purpose leaves a far stronger impression than speaking simply to fill empty space. Habit 8. She lives the same way in private as she does in public. Character isn't built when everyone is watching. It's revealed when nobody is. How do you treat people who cannot benefit you? Do you remain honest when dishonesty would be easier? Do you stay kind when kindness receives no recognition? These quiet decisions slowly shape your reputation. Eventually, people trust you without fully understanding why, because authenticity cannot be faked forever. Integrity leaves fingerprints on every interaction. Long after people forget your appearance, they'll remember how consistently your actions matched your values. Human beings naturally trust emotional consistency. We feel safe around people whose reactions aren't unpredictable. Someone constantly seeking approval shifts depending on the audience, but someone grounded in personal values remains remarkably consistent, and that consistency communicates confidence. Not loud, performative confidence, but the quiet kind rooted in self-awareness. These habits don't transform overnight, they build through repetition. Choose one this week. Practice listening without interrupting. Next week, focus on slowing your speech. Then keep one small promise to yourself every single day. Notice how your relationships begin changing. Notice how you feel calmer, more confident, more secure. The world teaches us that being noticed requires becoming louder and constantly visible. But true respect has never worked that way. The women who inspire others most aren't always demanding attention. They're the ones who remain kind without becoming weak, confident without becoming arrogant, calm without becoming passives. So instead of asking how to impress more people, ask yourself a different question. How can I become someone I deeply respect? Because once that happens, something remarkable follows. You stop chasing approval. You stop comparing yourself. You stop performing for acceptance. And without realizing it, the respect you've been searching for begins finding you instead.